Monday, October 31st, year 2022. It was Halloween Day. I've never, growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, I never participated in the Halloween holiday celebration. So a lot of my friends and associates, I see them on the internet with costumes and going out to these clubs and parties. I just never cared for Halloween. It's not something I would even. I've never wanted to participate in it. I've gone to some events on Halloween. I once had a party many years ago. I used to throw parties back in the 90s. And I think I had a party that was on Halloween, so I can't remember what it was. I think people did show up in costumes. But anyway, the reason why I'm really not a fan of Halloween, I just don't get into some of the stuff that takes place. There's always something tragic and crazy that kind of happens on Halloween night, and I just kind of said, maybe that's my father's superstitious side coming out on me. I got a religious mom on one side, talk whispering in my ear, and I got a superstitious father on the other side whispering in my ear, and I'm in the middle going crazy as hell. Like, okay, so for me, Halloween is a pass. So you all go out and do costumes and trick or treat and do all that stuff. Have fun. Myself personally, I don't. It's just something that I just don't belong to participate in. Anyway, Kanye West. Oh boy. Yeah, it's a wrap for Kanye West. It's a wrap. Kanye West has, according to sources, he has a disturbing history of admiring Hitler, and even wanted to name an album off one of his CDs wanted to name the CD Adolf Hitler. Several people who were once close to the artist formerly known as Kanye West told CNN that he had long been fascinated by Adolf Hitler. Oh, wow. And once wanted to name an album after the Nazi leader. A business executive who worked for West, who now goes by Ye, West of Kanye West goes by Ye, told CNN that the artist created a hostile work environment, in part through his obsession with Hitler. He would praise Hitler by saying how incredible it was and that he was able to accumulate so much power, when talk about all the great things he and the Nazi Party achieved for the German people. Oh my God, if this is true, this man's crazy. It is true, which I believe it to be true. The executive left this position and reached a settlement with Kanye and some of his companies over workplace complaints, including harassment, which CNN has reviewed. The former executive told us executive asked not to be named due to a confidentiality agreement in fear of retribution by West. According to the agreement, West denies the executive's allegations, so West denies that this took place. The executive told CNN that West spoke openly about reading Mein Kampf, Hitler's 1925 autobiographical book, manifesto, and expressed his admiration for the Nazis and Hitler for use of propaganda. They're what they're playing. CNN has reached out to West for comment. Universal Music Group, owner of Def Jam, which used to distribute West's music, said in a statement that to CNN too that the company's relationship with Kanye's Good Music label ended last year. There is no place for anti-Semitism, whatever. In our society, we are deeply committed to combating this and every other form of prejudice and anti-Semitism. Get it early out. Tongue twisted. I'm drinking some coffee. Wow. Yeah. If for that information had gotten out, it's a wrap for Kanye West, y'all. He ain't gonna be able to come back from this. Who in their right mind would admire Adolf Hitler and the atrocities that man committed during World War II? Who? You'd have to be pretty insane. The thing that bothers me most, though, Kanye identifies as a Christian. He's made gospel music. But his mind, something's wrong with this man, like most Christians. I know a lot of y'all get upset when I talk about the Christian religion, but you all need to really take a closer look at any religion. Y'all don't really look beyond what you've been taught or what you've read in that Bible. You don't research anything, But back to Kanye. For him to outright admire Adolf Hitler and to make this publicly known, well, he'd make public. I guess he's just going on. So here's another. Here's another. The sources CNN speak with did not have any information from how the album was eventually named Ye. So the album named Ye, which I don't know. I guess it's maybe his last album or something. I don't know. Maybe I missed that album. He wanted to name it Adolf Hitler. That would have been something else. That's crazy. Well, TMZ also said that Van Lathan Jr., a former TMZ employee who confronted West during his 2018 interview at their offices, in which West said slavery sounds like a choice, recently claimed on a podcast that West made anti-Semitic comments during their conversation that the TMZ did not release publicly. I've already heard him say that stuff before at TMZ, Latham said. I mean, I was taken aback because the type of anti-Semitic talk is disgusting. It's like I'm taken back anyone who does that. But as far as West, I knew that was in him because I came to TMZ. When he came to TMZ, he said that stuff and took it out, and they took it out of him. He said something like, I love Hitler, I love Nazis. Something to the effect when he was there. And they took it out of the interview for whatever reason. It wasn't my decision. Well, the revelation of West's alleged history of admiring Hitler comes amid a wave of inflammatory actions by West that began early this month. He wore a White Lives Matter t-shirt, which I guess anybody, when I saw that t-shirt, I've been over Kanye West for so long now. It's just kind of like I saw that t-shirt, this man crazy, man. And then I just kept on. He wore a White Lives Matter t-shirt during his Yeezy fashion show in Paris on October 3rd and dressed several black models in clothing with the phrase, deemed a hate slogan by the Anti-Defamation League. He then posted a private text conversation on Instagram between himself and Sean Diddy Combs, which he claims Combs was controlled by Jewish people. He followed that with a tweet in which he said he would go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people, resulting in Twitter locking his account. West's offensive rhetoric in the last few weeks has resulted in professional fallout for the rapper and singer and designer. We know that Adidas ended its 7-year partnership with West. We know all these companies kind of ran away from him. West tweeted on an Instagram post, I lost $2 billion in one day and I'm still alive. Well, Hitler, huh? This man admires Hitler. Like, okay. It's a wrap for Kanye. He ain't coming back from this, y'all. I doubt very seriously if he's going to be able to get those shoes manufactured with anybody else. But, I mean, I don't see that happening. And as for his music, you don't go around offending and burning bridges with people that you do business with. If Kanye was angry and upset with people he was doing business with, he should just did like everybody else. You go to court and resolve your issues in the courtroom. You don't sit around mad because you believe they're Jewish and so therefore, this whole event that has drugged this man down, the only person he blames is himself. If he didn't like what was going on with the Gap or Adidas or whatever other business partners, you settle it in a lawsuit. He could have sued Gap or sued Adidas to resolve those issues that he was having with them. Supposedly, Adidas was taking some of the designs that were used for his shoe line and using it on their regular shoe line. He didn't like that. Well, then sue them. Arbitrate the deal. There are ways that you handle things. This is business in America, business in the world. And if he didn't like what was going on with these businesses, then he should have hired an attorney, he got the money, and resolved it like any other person would do that's in a business agreement with somebody. This one goes back to say that something's wrong with Kanye mentally, because why would a man make those type of negative comments about Jews and then also say that they like Hitler? That is disgusting to me. Knowing full well we all know what Hitler did during the Holocaust, and the millions of people lost their lives by Hitler's obsession, insane beliefs. And then for Kanye to say he loved Hitler, I have a sneak suspicion TMZ is probably going to end up releasing those videos and with those comments on it. And y'all, if they release that, with him making them comments live, it's a wrap. Then he gonna be toast. Gonna be toast. And those of you who run around, y'all must look like there's been so many incidents where celebrities have lost all their contracts with partners, like Paula Deen. We can't forget what happened with her. And the list goes on and on. When people make comments and say something that people don't agree with, there's a strong possibility that you can lose your contracts with companies you work with. They don't want nothing to do with this controversy. And if y'all remember, Paula Deen lost a lot. She supposedly used the action in court that she ever used the term nigger or something like that. I can't remember, it was years ago. But she said, yes, I knew they were going to do that. Move! What y'all doing? Get out over there. Move! I knew they were going to turn this light out. They just didn't want to interrupt. Man, why is this still not working? Get away from here. I'm going to have to start locking their asses up. I'm going to have to, because they just too damn bad. At least I put all these squeaky toys up and now they're not barking. They're supposed to be over here eating breakfast like good dogs should do. Yeah, but it's a wrap, y'all. Kanye can't come back from this. Regardless, there might be a large section, amount of Jews who work and who own businesses that he was doing businesses, whether it's record companies or radio stations or whatever businesses they might be affiliated with. But when he went into business with them and he realized that maybe he didn't like some of the stuff that was going on, then he should have began the process to do like anybody else, dismantle that business and go do your own thing. But the way he went about this, the way he did what he's doing and stuff that he's saying now, another thing, when it's kind of a side note with Kanye, don't forget, y'all, Kanye had a really bad car accident back about 15 years ago. 2002 to 2003, his mouth was wired up. He had a broke driver's bed accident. And we also know that people who have had car accidents or who have suffered trauma to the head, like football players, and they have this stuff called CTE, and how it has an impact on their thinking, it's damage to the brain. Not making any excuses for Kanye's behavior, because I strongly feel he's having some serious mental health issues that is just not being dealt with, or he's just not taking his medications. As I've said in the past about Kanye, I have friends and family members who had mental health issues and refused to take treatment, refused to take medications, refused to even acknowledge that they had an issue. So when you have somebody who don't realize they're having these types of issues or mental health issues, it can get out of control and fast. We've had several incidents here in Atlanta where police officers have encountered people going through a mental health issue, and unfortunately, these people end up dead. There was an incident that happened over in Chambly where an ex-military guy stripped naked and was running around. He had no weapons on him, but somebody called the police, and the police came over there, and as this man was running towards the police officer, the officer grabbed his gun and shot and killed a naked man. He didn't have no weapons on him. I believe that man was charged, convicted, and in prison right now, the officer, for what he did. But clearly, his family members said that he had stopped taking his medications, the guy who was killed. So maybe Kanye was on medications for a while then. Maybe he has now stopped taking those medications, which I've seen them found. We all know lots of people just, I'm not taking that medicine no more. It's like, okay, but that medicine is keeping you sane. That medicine is helping you get through life. I'm not taking that medicine no more. And then you also have people, when it comes to mental health care and medications, I've also been in situations where I heard other people encourage the person not to take the medicine. Oh, you don't need to take that medicine. And I'll just be sitting there thinking, back then I wouldn't really want to get involved with these. I wouldn't speak up and say, well, why would you tell someone not to take their medication that's helping them to resolve an issue that's involving their mental health? We live in a world. I do these videos, but for the most part, I just stay away from people. I just do. I'd rather sit here and deal with these bad dogs running around this house all day before I deal with some of these crazy people. But I have seen, and I never ever forget one Sunday I went out to visit when I was visiting churches. I was at Bishop Eddie Long's church, New Birth, and Bishop Eddie Long was sit on that pulpit and hold up a little thimble grapefruit juice, or whatever they were serving you. You drink the juice, eat a little cracker. I forget what it's called. They were doing in there. I almost said it, but anyway, I've never. Remember, I grew up as Jehovah's Witness. You know what? Do we do that in Jehovah's Witness? I think we did that in Jehovah's Witness. I can't remember. I think we do though. But anyway, back to Bishop Eddie Long. Bishop Eddie Long stood on that pulpit and said, "You don't need a doctor. You don't need a psychiatrist. You don't need that medicine. All you need is this, the blood of Jesus." I'm thinking, that ain't the blood of Jesus. That's some Kroger brand grape juice. I saw y'all pouring it. When did Kroger start manufacturing, making the blood of Jesus? Is this some blood of Jesus grapes or something I missed out on? Can you get by my Kroger or something? What is going on here? And when he said that, I just kind of sat there. Y'all, when he literally said, my heart dropped. I was thinking, church packed with all these people, and I'm thinking, and this is when I started to venture into these black churches just to see what the fuck was going on. And I sat there at that church. I went to a bunch of churches here in Atlanta. I realized, and them pastors said some of the craziest shit I ever heard in my entire life. Bishop Eddie Long at New Birth, New Beginnings, Morton over there. There was so many churches I went to, and I sit there and listen. And the stuff would be so insanely crazy that they would be saying, and just be like, what is going on with these pastors? Now remember, Kanye West is very religious. Very religious. But he ain't come back from this, y'all. It's a wrap for his ass. I have a sneaky suspicion all his music is probably going to be dropped from Apple Music and Spotify as he continues down this path. And he continues with his rants and rave and his ignorant shit. He's going to have to lose a whole lot. Welcome to Niggerville, y'all. To Kanye West, getting some help. And those of you who support these comments that Kanye West said, I've seen you all saying, he said this, y'all, Kanye West ain't said nothing and we all didn't know any damn way. It's like, okay. Y'all been living under rocks. I'm 52 years of age. I'm very aware of the world that we live in. Very aware. I don't need Kanye to tell me anything about racism or, no, there is no YouTube. I'm not living in no fantasy world over here. I don't even tell about who controlling what in the music that's on the radio. I know why that music is on that radio. I don't listen to rap music. Y'all, I stopped listening to rap a long time ago. Too much promotion of drugs and violence and sex. I don't want to hear that shit. I'll sit over here and listen to something called chill music. You go to XM Radio, ask for the chill channel or soft jazz. I need music to calm me down, not rile me up. My headaches feels a lot better now I get my medications. I found them pills and then tryptolene. These damn pills. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Kanye West, he ain't coming back, y'all. He has the only thing that I can think of that when his mom was alive, she probably was very important. Played a very important role with him staying mentally stable because she probably was the person who could only talk sense into him and get him to take his medications or deal with his issues. He is bipolar. He has admitted this, but nobody cares about that at this point because they're going by what he's saying and what he's doing. And he's burning a lot of bridges that he may not ever be able to come back across. I feel sorry for him and anyone going through this type of crisis. I've seen friends who've been a few years back, I'm done in this video, I saw a friend of mine I'd known for years. I went into the grocery store. It was a Kroger in Midtown, and I was shopping. There was somebody at customer service was raising all this hell and was going off, and all these the customer managers and everybody standing around, and it was this big scene going on. And as I was walking by, I looked. I said, "Wait a minute, I know that guy." It was somebody I'd known for years. He looked a hot mess. Hair was all wild. Clothes looking crazy. He was up there. I don't know what was going on up there because I remember I was in total shock and they were trying to calm him down. But I remember when this person, when I met him years before, when he was doing really well. But now I could tell either he was on drugs that day or he spiraled or something. It was bad. It wasn't too long after that he passed away. Maybe I remember seeing it pop up on Facebook that he had passed away, and I remember, wow. And this was a few years back. But I knew this man, and he was a brilliant professor for Georgia State University when I met him. I'll never forget that, because he was trying to get me to enroll in Georgia State University. So to see this man nearly 20 plus odd years later, because I knew him in 1989, 1989, to see him many years later, and what I saw, how he looked, the clothes, the hair, the craziness, I knew something wasn't right. Something that went on bad. Mental health issues can affect any of us at any time. You know, as we get older, dementia begins to settle in. You know, it's just a bad situation. And let's just face the facts of it, y'all. If you're sitting up in a church and a pastor is telling you don't need to go see a doctor, you don't need to see a psychiatrist, you don't need any medication, you don't need any of this stuff. And I've heard this not just there. I think Bishop Eddie Long was probably Bishop Eddie Long, everything. He said it more profoundly. Just threw it out there. But I've sat in some churches, y'all, from Creflo Dollar. I went there a couple times with my mother. I couldn't stand that church. I don't care for these pastors and these churches because the nonsense they preach is just ridiculous. I know that some of you all are Christians and y'all love these pastors and these churches. But y'all need to start listening to and question yourself about what's being taught in these churches and how it is impacting the black community at large. No one should be telling people not to take their medications that help them, whether it's physically or mentally. I don't like to be around people who have negative comments about medicine, whether it's blood pressure medicine, mental health medications, HIV, COVID shots, all this stuff. When I hear these ignorant individuals making those comments about negative comments about these medications that can save a person's life, I just have to distance myself. I can't deal with that ignorance. I just can't deal with it. But anyway, Kanye West he has spiraled into a bad situation, and I just don't see him able to recover from this one, y'all. It's just going. He liked Hitler, admired Hitler. Okay. Anyway, today is Monday. It is October 31st. The year is 2022. I'm out of here and enjoy the rest of your day.